Alabama, South Florida, the rematch of last year's game. We talked about it a lot, and we're going to get into it right here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Great to have all you guys. Roll Tide, everybody. Let's get the show started.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker, WJLX radio voice Brett Elmore, and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, and celebrating 30 years of excellence. Also brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Let's toast. Hashtag to the Screwballs. R&R Cigars, home of the Alabama Victor cigar. Unique bar on the Strip, home of the NFL, MLB, Premier League package. Catch all the games at Unique, Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Pond Royale, located at 1019 McFarland and Northport. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com. And Styx's Tractor and Tree Service in South Alabama. Affordable pricing and customer service guaranteed. Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
Oh, yes, here we are, another game day in Tuscaloosa. Welcome to the Bama Football Tailgate Show. This is presented by Pearl River Resort, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview number 4 Alabama, not number 5, number 4 Alabama, and South Florida, 6 o'clock at Bryant-Denny Stadium. On today's show, we got our buddy Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN the Zone in Huntsville. Andrew Bone's going to be on to talk recruiting. He's with BamaOnline, and On3 Sports has been on the show. I was trying to count it the other day. It's over a decade now of having Bone on each week, so looking forward to that. Clint Lamb from Cover Crimson. Let me say that again. Clint Lamb from Cover Crimson. So I try to work that in to just kind of get the juices flowing. But Clint Lamb from Cover Crimson will be on here as well. And the Gatin and Grillin segment with our friend Kevin Sport. We call him Kaneka Kevin. He's going to be on as well. Can't wait to talk to him and see who he's grilling with this week. This is the Bama Football Tailgate Show, and we are brought to you by Pearl River Resort in Philadelphia, Mississippi, a short drive from Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, Vegas-style sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play $50, and the sportsbook will give you a round of golf at Dancing Rabbit for just $40, so take advantage of that. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker, ready for some Alabama football. Again, Jake, Bama number 4, 1-0, and South Florida is 1-0 on the season. Big matchup.
Yeah, hopefully, we come out and play like we did last week. Maybe a little bit of a revenge factor, because I think everybody kind of saw that game last year as somewhat of a loss. A lot going on there, but hopefully we can bounce back and play like we did against Western Kentucky last week. Welcome to Unique bar on the Strip, hanging out right now. This is the calm before the storm on a day like this. Yeah, it's still a little quiet. I'm ready to get this weekend kicked off. Got the field being named after Coach tomorrow. A lot of guys in town excited about it. Big one for Coach Saban. You love the opportunity to honor him. I still think that it should be Bryant Saban Field. Yeah, just a Bryant Saban. Yeah, and then have Denny be the field.
Bryant
There's too much going on.
Is right.
Denny
right.
Chimes, Bryant Saban Field and Stadium.
Well, look, man, get your Yinglings. Brought to you by Yingling Lager, also by Screwball Original Peanut Butter Whiskey. Got some Screwball swag that we're giving out here. We're going to have our friend Jimmy Hart from Visit Tuscaloosa jump on with us as well. Got a great show for you guys. 63-0, Western Kentucky was the victim last week. I didn't think Alabama played their best game, but they obviously played a good enough game to blow out the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, it's an odd matchup. It's one of those where there were so many explosive plays. It was kind of hard to gather much from that performance. It shows us we got a lot of talent, a lot of explosive players. We just far outmatched Western Kentucky. And while I'd like to see the same type of explosiveness this week, I think it's South Florida's a little better, but I still kind of hope to see these 1, 2, 3 play drives.
Gonna have our friend Big Sexy Elmo come on a little later in this first hour, talk to us about the game. Is Jalen Milroe the best option at quarterback for Alabama? Because I feel like most of us think he is, but there's still some naysayers out there. I don't understand it.
I'm not sure, how that opinion has become popular. If it's not for Jalen Milroe last year, I don't want to conflate last year with this year, but if it's not for him last year, especially with his athleticism, we don't make it as far as we made it. And, that LSU game last year was one of the best performances I've seen among any of the Saban era quarterbacks. I'd like to see him operate within the pocket a little more, but, he's got a lot of strengths in his game that make him elite. And now, having said that, again, this week I'd love to see an emphasis on pocket presence and getting the ball out quick. Obviously we've seen him run the ball. We've seen him operate when plays break down, and he's one of the best in the country at doing that. I'd love to see him get the ball out of his hands quick this week.
Be a good, definitely formula for Alabama, and I'm sure that's something that they worked on in the offseason. The release, the short passes. His deep ball is beautiful, and his running ability is elite.
Yeah, I mean, we're sharpening an already sharp tool. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. I don't think you could ask for a better quarterback, especially in this situation with his leadership characteristics. I wouldn't want anybody else to be the quarterback this year. And he's got room to grow, and I think he's going to do that. But I think he's the best option for Alabama.
Going to have Lance Taylor on from the next round and Lance's lock in the second hour to help us make some picks today. And we appreciate all you guys, too, and know that we're brought to you in part by New Life Art. That's the Daniel Moores. You know the Daniel Moores. You're actually in one. We have it here. Come by, and Jake Mick might sign one for you if you give him the right type of Roll Tide. But right now you can use the promo code Bama Tailgate, spend over $50, and shipping is free. So this is time to buy the big stuff. When you get the free shipping, you need to pimp out your man cave, and it's the right time to do that. So take advantage of our promo code. Also, the Bama Tailgate Show is brought to you by, I mentioned before, Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sports Book. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this game. We got Big Elmo waiting in the wings, all that right here on the Bama Football Tailgate Show.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Score big at Floribama's Old River Grill with our great game menu. Grab your friends and watch the game on one of our 30-plus TVs. Our game day menu is full of flavor, from fried green beans to cowboy caviar and game day staples like the buffalo chicken sandwich, traditional jumbo chicken wings, Southwest egg rolls, and the chips and dip trio. Wash it all down with a bucket of beer or one of our many drink specials. Bring your friends and family for game day and join us at Floribama Old River Grill. For more info, visit our website at floribamaoldrivergrill.com.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hey y'all, I'm Steve Azar inviting you to escape to Pearl River Resort where the fun is going non-stop. Enjoy gaming excitement and catch the thrill of the big win. After the thrills, test your skills at the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. There's dining delight and love at first sight. And it's always no work and all play at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casinos. So come on, leave it all behind and head to Pearl River Resort.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Gary Allen in concert.
Every storm runs that rain.
Gary Allen.
I'm just sitting
live.
Here watching airplanes.
Saturday, October 12th at Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Yeah, that's right where I need to be.
Don't miss Gary Allen. Live.
Who doesn't love a good Bloody Mary come game day? We set out to make the best tasting, the savory, spicy, and southern. So as my song goes, call it an early weekend and sip on my signature blend. I don't have to be me till Monday Bloody Mary mix. So leave it all behind and head on over to Pearl River Resort, exclusively at their restaurants, bars, and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. This weekend, just say, I'll have what Steve's having.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Football is back, and no one does it better than the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This season, you can watch the games with nothing on the line. Boring. Or you can make a play in the starting lineup. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you into the big plays with big bets and big wins, making every game more exciting than ever. It's time for the sports glory you deserve without breaking a sweat. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game. Must be 21.
Hanging out with you, getting you ready for Alabama and USF. Show brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Great to have Jake Coker with us. And Jimmy Hart from Visit Tuscaloosa. What's up, man?
Hey, just getting ready for another great fall in Tuscaloosa.
Well, as we talk football, we figured we'd bring you on, and then you can kind of fill us in on everything going on here in Tuscaloosa. South Florida today, kickoff at 6 o'clock. Another night game. Some people like the night games. The Barks are telling me they don't like the night games as much as the midday games.
Right. Those bars and restaurants love it when fans can come out after the game and have a great time and spend a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty hard to beat that experience of being in Bryant-Denny Stadium under the lights.
Yeah.
So, we're going to take what we get.
No doubt. All right, guys, let's throw this out here. What can you glean from the Western Kentucky win? It was 63-0.
I mean, for me, it just showcased, the talent, the athleticism we have. Western Kentucky, TJ Finley had a rough night. We didn't give up any explosive plays that I remember. Seemed like we were in the right spot more often than not, and showed a lot of athleticism, guys getting downhill, getting after the ball. A lot of energy over there. Offensively, a lot of explosive plays. Ryan Williams looked great, especially on that second touchdown catch. We got athletes, a few, some mistakes that looked like a little bit of rust, a little bit of guys getting used to playing with each other. But glad we got these 2 games on the front end of the season to kind of roll into Wisconsin and Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, how much fun was it to watch those guys in the new offense? Right? You see Jalen at quarterback. You see Hollywood catching those balls.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow, we've got some real horses out there, and they're going to put on a show.
Yeah.
I bet you they sold some Hollywood pizzas after that. Those 2 catches,
yes,
huh?
I guarantee you they did.
Hollywood and Mbakwe have a new podcast out. Why didn't you do one? You and Ryan Kelly.
Well, I don't think. I'm sure they're collecting a check from that.
That'd have been a good podcast.
Yeah,
Is that who you would have done it with?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
They
Probably
could have
me,
called it
Ryan,
the
Richard
clean-
Mullaney, Dylan Lee, Ryan Anderson,
The clean snap.
Denzel Duvall, the clean snap.
I would have watched that.
A lot's
that
changed.
predated last year's.
Well, yeah, right. Well, yeah, but a lot's changed in 10 years, though, man. With just the way that everything works now. With Visit Tuscaloosa did a few NIL deals with players, and even last year and this year, Jake would have loved to have had some of those.
He would have been a great ambassador for us. If only we'd been that far ahead of the curve.
Do you guys have NIL? Do you guys have a partnership with Mossy Oak or?
Oh, so we're. No.
Despite Mick's commentary, he actually is a good guy.
I'm sorry, real tree. Listen, Caden Proctor could play according to Kalen DeBoer, right? And it's the first time that Coach Cap said he's ever had a player get hurt before the game, or injured or whatever it was. But he wasn't able to play. I don't expect him to play today. DeBoer, is he saying that for gamesmanship, or do you think that really there's an issue here and he's trying to cover it up? Or do you think he really play?
I think he could play. If he couldn't play, then he'd be, in a sling. And what's the point? So I think he can play. I think it's probably something minor that Caden Proctor's got a lot of experience. I think they can rely on him to come in against Wisconsin, Georgia, and roll right into the rotation and feel comfortable with him having not played against Western Kentucky and South Florida.
You think the same thing?
Yeah. If we're talking about a sophomore or JUCO transfer, you'd be worried. But a guy like Caden Proctor is going to roll out there and get the job done when he's ready to do it.
This was a tough question for me to answer, and I'm going to throw it at you guys. But first, I want to tell everyone that you're watching and hanging out with us right here on the Bama Football Tailgate channel and that on YouTube. But we also hang out with the gang at the Next Round now. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and all those guys on Cover Crimson. So it's kind of part of that same Disrupt the Media family. Elephant in the Room, the podcast that Jake and I do, is available on there as well. So as you hang out with us here, listen on the radio across the state of Alabama, go check us out on YouTube and be a part of both of those things right now. Or when you get a chance, back to your computer. All right. The question is this. Do you consider USF a cupcake?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
You started off.
I'm going to say no. I think anyone who has Florida as their home base for recruiting has the potential to put together a really salty lineup and have a good year.
Florida State and Florida would like to argue that.
Well, maybe they should focus more on those good Florida boys. But I wouldn't consider them a cupcake. We've seen them reach some pretty high peaks in the past. I don't think they are what they have been at times. But, I think the level of talent on the other side of the field is going to be way different than what we saw with Western Kentucky.
I've got a lot of respect for all these programs. When I was coming out of high school, my first offer was Arkansas State, and I couldn't have been more proud of that offer. and I think it means a lot to all these players that play at smaller schools. It should mean a lot to if you get a D1 offer, no matter what. But when you're talking about Alabama's and South Florida's, I mean, obviously the talent level, it's not the same, and so we should definitely go out there and respect South Florida. They're going to have good players, but you also have to play to a certain standard, and if we play to that standard, we should win handily against South Florida. So I'm not going to say it's a cupcake game, but we got to give them their respect, but we should be in the talks of covering that spread.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that this is a good matchup. I mean, if you're not going to play the Florida States of the world or the Wisconsins like next week, go out and try to find a pretty good opponent. And I give these guys a lot of respect. I think it's cool that we played there, and now we're playing back here again. And I'm guessing they'll come back again as part of this same contract. 2014 team is going to be honored today, Jake. We're going to talk about that later. You were on that team, SEC champion. I think I went to all those games at 14 and 15. I'm trying to remember games I missed from those seasons, so I can't wait to talk about that. And then Saban Field is going to be something that happens as well at the university. But, Jimmy, you tell us everything going on in Tuscaloosa. I love it when you give us the breakdown of what to expect here in our beautiful city.
Yeah, well, the first thing I want to say is be sure and make it out to Champions Lane before you head into the stadium. They're going to have all of the national championship trophies from the Saban era out on Champions Lane with kind of selfie station setups. So it's going to be a great fan engagement experience. So if you're listening to us, get out there as soon as you get to campus. Really take advantage of that. Coming up in the next couple weeks, we've got the Tuscaloosa Toyota Classic Golf Tournament out at Old Colony. This is a professional women's golf tournament. Come out and check that out next weekend. If you want to volunteer, there's actually some volunteer opportunities still available. You get a great kit with that, t-shirt, hat, all that kind of stuff. But the big thing I want to get on everybody's calendar, and Mick, Jake, I expect to see you guys out there September 21st. It's an open weekend. You got to come out to Druid City Social and come to Tuscaloosa Oktoberfest.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great event. 5K in the morning for those of you who are athletically inclined.
I'll raise my hand to that.
Do the 5K. I play more the spectator role, so you'll see me at the Cutter's Cigar Tent promptly at 10 a.m. But we're going to have a great time out there. There's going to be some great food. I'm really excited about SoCal Cantina is going to be out there. They're going to have a traditional taco, a German-inspired taco, and then a Choco Taco dessert taco.
Oh, nice.
So everyone needs to come out on September 21st, Oktoberfest.
And then they have beer out there too?
We will have lots of beer and a wine tasting section.
Oh, there you go.
With some nice German wines for those who want a less hoppy experience.
And something for you too.
Look at you.
Now,
a lot to sell about Tuscaloosa, man. I feel bad about the guy that's in your shoes in Auburn.
Yeah,
not a whole lot going on over there.
Tough work up there.
What do they have that in, like an old field or something? That comes with bonfire. Well, it sounds like good stuff, and always great to see you. Make sure that you swing by and hang out with us again throughout the season as we bounce around different places here in Tuscaloosa.
I'm always happy to be here, Mick.
Oh, it's always great to see you, and and talk a little bit of Alabama football. A lot of times baseball, but we got so much going on today. It's like our teams are out of it, and it's like there's no Cubs and no Royals.
Not.
Are they still in it, the Royals?
We got 2 wild card spots this year, and the Royals are currently 5.5 games up on the Tigers.
Really?
So this is the 3rd time in my life that we've made it to college football season, and the Royals are still in spot for a playoff game.
Well, that's crazy.
These are big days for me.
Well, one time they won the World Series, and one time they lost the World Series.
It's true. I was at Game 7 of that loss.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was one of the oddest experiences of my life.
You think they should have sent him or no?
He would have been out. He would have been out. I mean, but good night. But what if the throw hadn't been online?
Yeah, right.
I mean, but yeah, I'll never forget it.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We're going to bring in Big Sexy Elmo when we come back. Alabama, South Florida, 6 o'clock, and we're previewing it for you right here on the Bama Football Tailgate Show.
Alabama PALS, People Against a Littered State, is a statewide organization that has many programs that can benefit your county, school, city, or community. The Alabama Adopt a Mile program, the Don't Drop It on Alabama Spring Cleanup, the Alabama Coastal Cleanup, and the Alabama Clean Campus program are all programs available to you and your groups. Join with Alabama PALS and let's all do our part in making Alabama truly Alabama the Beautiful. For more information, go to alpals.org. Sponsored by Alabama PALS, ALDOT, the ABA, and this station.
Is your business facing new challenges such as higher employee wages and lower workforce participation? Luckily, there's a local solution. As your Alabama Career Center system, we make running your business easier. We assist both small and large businesses throughout the state. To take advantage of all we offer, visit your local center or find us online at labor.alabama.gov. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association, an equal opportunity employer. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities.
We know texting and driving is dangerous and tailgating causes crashes. We know that road rage doesn't get us down the road faster. So let's all help each other and focus on driving safely, especially around work zones. Speeding or any other dangerous driving moves through a work zone will cost you double the normal fine. Save your money and possibly save your life or the life of a road worker. Slow down, put away the phone, and enjoy the ride. For more information, visit drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, ALEA, the ABA, and this station.
Work is a part of all of us. We know that the world around us has changed, and that's why the Alabama Department of Labor is here to get you back to working hard. Work is a part of all of us. Let us help you get back to it by visiting your local career center or alabamaworks.alabama.gov. Funding provided by the USDOL, ETA, and Federal WIOA, an Equal Opportunity Employer Program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by the Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Do you know the facts about Mpox? The most visual symptom of Mpox is a rash. The rash can be preceded by fever, headache, muscle aches, backaches, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, and a cough. Symptoms start within 3 weeks of exposure to the virus. If you are at higher risk, protect yourself by avoiding close skin-to-skin contact with people and get vaccinated. To learn more about Mpox and determine if you are at risk, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/Mpox. Sponsored by the Alabama Public Health Department, ABA, and this station.
Back out on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, bringing you the Bama Football Tailgate Show, the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Alabama and the Bulls of South Florida go at 6 o'clock. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We appreciate them. Yuengling Lager. We just got a shipment of Yuengling swag here. So come by Unique on the Strip and pick up some Yuengling swag. Even if you missed the show, we're going to leave enough swag for everyone that's listening right now on the way in to come by and get a keychain or a T-shirt, or how about the football koozie? That thing's pretty cool. Did you see that thing?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
When you're
Not
off
too bad.
When you're off the antibiotics, you can put a nice beer in there, keep it cold. All right, guys. Well, I want to say this. Last week, he made his debut on the show, And without further ado, let me bring on the man, the myth, the legend that has his own entrance, Big Sexy Elmo.
They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Oh, without further ado, there he is. Look at him.
Still the sexiest one on the show. Game day, baby. What's up, fellas?
Hey, roll tide.
What's going on, Brett?
Roll tide. I hate to hear you're on antibiotics, Jake. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. You know, I was trying to tough it out throughout this week, and I just don't have any left in the tank. Tapping out and starting to take medicine.
So you couldn't start a football game tomorrow if you wanted, or today if you wanted to?
I'd make it happen.
You can make it happen. Well, guys, it looks like a fun time on the Strip. I was stuck in we were talking earlier, Mick, about South Florida, and you know, they're located in Tampa. That is probably the worst place I've ever been to as far as a championship game was concerned.
Oh, God, me too.
That play, I mean, that was it seemed like there was nothing to do there. And Jake, did you play in that game?
No, I did not know. I was gone. We played there when I was at Florida State. We went down and played South Florida one year, but you know, it wasn't an exciting atmosphere, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was ready to get out of there, but you know, some things about South Florida. I didn't know this. There's been some really notable people come out of South Florida, and Mick, you're going to know this guy because we've met him together before. You almost killed the guy one time. Tony La Russa.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, my setup. You know, like the setup here.
Yeah,
I had it in the visiting radio booth in baseball. And I didn't know Tony was going to be there, and he comes stumbling through, and he almost tripped over my my whole setup. But we became friends. I mean, Brett, you know this. Tony ended up being my main man. I was his main man. I charged his phone for him, kind of helped him get around. But I did almost kill him. I didn't realize he was there. Great guy.
Fetched his coffee for him and everything. I mean, you know, just real pals. See, that's how, Jake, if you don't know, that's how Mick becomes friends with you, is he almost kills you first. And then y'all will be friends for life. Guess who else went to school at USF? If only for just a short period of time and did not graduate, but the immortal one, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Hey, he's the greatest, man. I mean, like, I know people say that Ric Flair's the greatest. I know that there's a Stone Cold audience, The Rock, but Hogan, and it's hard for me to say the word Hulk because I don't get the use right, but he's my favorite, man. Hulkamania.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're saying Hulkamania.
I know. I've been criticized for this many times, but I love him, man. Like he's still immortal. I mean, I saw if it wasn't for him doing the leg drop, he'd still be wrestling right now. He said it messed up his hips. It's hard for him to get around.
Yeah, he's like 71 or something now. And I didn't realize that Gallagher, the comedian, went to USF. Remember Gallagher?
Oh, of course I remember Gallagher. He was the guy that took the big hammer and smashed the watermelons.
Yeah, that predates me.
Does it?
Yeah, predates me.
Well, it predates me too, but I still know.
Don't even. It predates him. Yeah. Okay.
You didn't pass that eye test.
No. I just looked 100.
This is a tough crowd today.
Tough audience today.
Jeez. I'm a comedian myself.
No respect.
Oh, I tell you, man. Jake is absolutely throwing the bombs at me today.
I got him a few zingers early, and now he's warmed up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gee whiz,
Can't be the punching bag the whole show.
I mean, the guy made a career out of being chased by 360-pound men all of his life, and he's wanting to be the one that throws zingers at me.
I love you, Brett.
I love you too, Jake. And also, one other thing, and this ties in great with the show, Mick. He was talking about Yuengling.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they are the home. Their basketball arena is called the Keg, and it's the Yuengling Center.
Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you why. First off, I appreciate Yuengling for being a partner of this show, and very proud partner of this show, and we're proud to have them. Growing up, it was my favorite beer. And then Cheryl Yuengling went to school here, and you know this, from the Yuengling family. And so it's been more than just like, hey, they're a partner, but she loves Alabama. I mean, she could have gone to Penn State with everyone else. You'll meet her. She'll be here when they come to town. But they have a brewery in Tampa, one of the Yuengling breweries. So they have the original ones in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, but then they have one in Tampa. And we actually did the show, this exact show that you guys are listening or watching right now, when Alabama played that championship game in 2016, and it was awesome. We got to do the tour. We got to taste all the beers. It was like Laverne and Shirley, you know, like watching the bottling plant and everything.
Did you put your glove on one of the bottles as it went by? But yeah, I really think that's cool. The Keg. We're going to go to the Keg and watch some basketball.
Yeah, I love that idea. What do you expect game day in Tuscaloosa? We were talking about this earlier. You know, Jake was on the 2014 team, and then he was on the 15 team, missed the 16 team where he, you know, would have been in Tampa for that one. But what do you expect? You see that they're naming the field after Nick Saban, and his 2014 SEC team is going to be back today?
Yeah, that's it's going to be a special day in Tuscaloosa today, and enjoy all the things that they have to offer. Game days are always special in Tuscaloosa anyway, but this one is probably one of the biggest we've had in a while because of everything that Nick Saban has done for not only the football program, but the university in general and the entire city of Tuscaloosa and really the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's legacy is cemented. It was already, you know, the statues out there and everything, but, you know, to name the field after him, it's a special day. And I know it's special for people like me and you, Mick, as fans and broadcasters, but also especially for Jake, that, I mean, he lived that life. He played on that team. And Jake, I know it's probably pretty special for you to see Coach finally, you know, get his name on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he reached out to his former players, you know, and meant a lot that he wanted all of us around to be here for that. And, you know, it's kind of like watching a fatherly figure accept, you know, award that, I mean, it's not an award, but it's really even more deeper and more meaningful than that, having the stadium named after you permanently on that field. He'll be remembered forever. And you know, in 10 years, 15 years, when my daughters are old enough to come here and think about coming to Alabama and enrolling here, I'll be able to tell them that I played for Coach Saban and talk about what a great coach he was, but also what a great person he was. And, you know, it just means a lot to me that he's being honored in this way. And there's no one more deserving than Coach Saban.
No, I agree with you 100%. And, but anyway, it's going to be a big day today. Of course, South Florida comes in. They're not going to be a pushover. I mean, they won 48-3 last week, but, you know, of course, they played Bethune-Cookman. But, you know, Bama fourth now in the rankings, and I look for them to dominate. Do they cover the spread? I don't know. We talked about that a little bit last week, but it's going to be – I think USF may get some points on us, and we'll see what happens. But the offense and the team looked great last week.
Brett, before we go to Andrew Bone, who's coming up next segment, you are the curator now of multiple radio stations and all multiple affiliates on the Bama Tailgate broadcast network, if you will. Can you tell us about them and where people can catch you?
Yeah, WJLX 101.5 in Jasper. Of course, WERH in Hamilton, and 3WH 92.7 in Haleyville. So kind of got the stations all around North Central Alabama. All
right. Well, congratulations on all that. No matter where you guys might be hanging out with us right now, including our flagship station, Classic Rock 106.9 in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and throughout, or you're listening in Jasper, Haleyville, or Hamilton, or wherever, North Alabama. We appreciate you guys being here. Brett, great job, and we'll talk to you again next week. When we come back, we're going to hear from Andrew Bone. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming up.
Look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
In the heart of Orange Beach, Alabama, directly on the Gulf of Mexico, you'll find your new favorite place to dine with family and friends, Coastal Orange Beach. It's the ultimate dining experience with incredible beach views, and we're now serving breakfast on the beach. We open daily at 8 a.m., so be sure to join us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Coastal Orange Beach is quickly becoming the place that locals love and a destination for anyone visiting the Gulf Coast. We can't wait to see you on the beach. CoastalOrangeBeach.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Hey y'all, I'm Steve Azar inviting you to escape to Pearl River Resort where the fun is going non-stop. Enjoy gaming excitement and catch the thrill of the big win. After the thrills, test your skills at the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. There's dining delight and love at first sight. And it's always no work and all play at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casinos. So come on, leave it all behind and head to Pearl River Resort.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat,
on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, getting you set for the Crimson Tide of Alabama against South Florida. Hanging out with our friends here at Unique on the Strip. Show brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Visit Tuscaloosa. And you guys love Tuscaloosa, and you love visiting Tuscaloosa. So make sure that you swing by. You got the Farmers Market that takes place every Saturday at the River Mart from 7 to noon. You got the Civil Rights Trail self-guided tour that includes 18 stops around Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa Amphitheater with some great concerts. And our next guest, Andrew Bone, will know about that. Druid City Music Hall as well. That's right. Visit Tuscaloosa.com. And it's great to see our good friend Andrew Bone from BamaOnline and On3. I call him the guru of recruiting, and he covers Alabama and recruiting, and he's done that for a long time. Roll Tide, man. What's up?
Hey, Mick, how are you today?
I'm as good as you can be, getting ready for kickoff and getting ready to see what Alabama's going to look like. And I guess, the question for you right off the bat is what are the updates as far as visitors coming to Tuscaloosa, and how is this new staff looking to finish up this recruiting class?
Yeah, I think for the season opener last week, you had kind of more recruits, more targets, more commitments who were in Tuscaloosa because they wanted to see the first game. They wanted to be there for Coach DeBoer's game against Western Kentucky, even though competition might be a little bit better against South Florida than it was against the Hilltoppers. They just wanted to see how everybody was going to perform. Whether it was the offense and the defense. Being a season opener, it was a lot of excitement. So, you had more kids that were going to be in that one. And then, for the Georgia game on the 28th, that's kind of the one that, your out-of-state kids, your targets from, whether it's California or New Jersey or wherever it may be, that's the game that they've kind of penciled in as to be the first big game that they're going to go out and see for the Crimson Tide this year. So this weekend, you're not going to have a ton of top recruits that are going to be on campus. One guy in particular that we're watching this weekend, or at least Alabama fans should know about, is Caleb Cunningham, 5-star wide receiver from Mississippi, committed to Alabama back in July, has been saying that all the right things, very solid, but he has continued to take some visits. Visited Ole Miss and Mississippi State in late July before making a trip over to Tuscaloosa for that Champions Cookout on the 28th. Went back to Ole Miss last weekend for their game against Furman. A lot of people looked at that. Well, why is he going to that game instead of the Alabama home opener? Well, about a 30-minute drive, probably. A little bit easier to get over to Oxford than it is to Tuscaloosa, which was about a 3.5-hour drive for Caleb. But quickly making a trip back to Alabama this weekend. After that visit over to Oxford, and he's also set to visit on the 28th for that game against Georgia. He says that his commitment's very solid. Does that mean that other schools are going to stop recruiting him? No, he's a 5-star wide receiver, one of the best players in the entire country. So that's going to happen all the way through signing day, until signing day. As long as you can keep them on board, keep getting them back on campus for these visits and these game day atmospheres, I think everything's going to be okay. But yeah, this weekend, what we're looking for is, who else is going to show up on campus. Last weekend, we saw a couple new offers that happened. Mason Dunn out of Tupelo is a commitment to Ole Miss. And look at that. So Alabama had one of its commitments over in Oxford last weekend. Well, Ole Miss had one of its commitments in Tuscaloosa last weekend. So Mason Dunn, 6'2", 190-pound defensive back. Alabama just offered him but they've been recruiting him since late June, early July. So this wasn't this some new name that popped up on Alabama's radar. They've known about him, wanted to watch him a little bit during his senior season, and once they kind of evaluated some film, brought him in for the game, then extended the offer. So that's a new name that we're talking about a little bit more. And Tavius Richardson, who's a USF commitment out of Georgia, was also in Tuscaloosa last weekend, a safety that received an offer from Alabama during that visit. So a couple new names in the defensive backfield that Alabama's starting to talk to and very much interested in to begin the season.
How's NIL changed the recruiting game? I saw Antonio Coleman, obviously, Alabama to Auburn, Alabama back to Auburn again. You have to feel like there's NIL money that's part of this for the standout defensive lineman from Saraland. A guy like Caleb Cunningham, you talk about him, Ole Miss, decommits, comes to Alabama, but he's still taking all these visits. How has that affected recruiting, and how is Alabama dealing with the NIL aspect of it?
Well, I think that Alabama's handled it as well as they could have, and to this point, last year we used to call it the Saban discount because Alabama's NIL, wasn't, I don't think they were in the top 10. I don't think they were in the top 15. They may have been in the top 20 as far as what their NIL fund looks like, but they're starting to grow a little bit. They're still not in the top 10. Pete Neckos of On3 Sports put out a story a couple weeks ago of the top, I think it was the top 15 NIL programs in the country right now as far as how much money they've got to work with. And it's not for, all right, here's X number of dollars for recruiting. It's X number of dollars for the entire team. So you're spreading, you're having to kind of spread that wealth out. Now, there are some schools that are probably going to spread it out not as evenly as a program like Alabama or Georgia is, because they're trying to get those big name recruits to kind of help change the face of their program and to have success of their program. I just don't think that Alabama is going all in as far as making these significant offers, for high school kids more so than the stars of their own team, whereas other schools are having to do that to have success down the road and to be a college football playoff contender. But NIL certainly become a major factor in a lot of decisions. We see that all the time, more so now than ever before, because the numbers keep on growing. But Alabama has been able to handle it really well. They've got the number 2 recruiting class in the country. They've recruited kind of all over the country in this class. A lot of people are upset that Alabama hasn't recruited in-state as well, but they also haven't recruited as many in-state players in this 25 class. You look at the top 10 in the state of Alabama, there might be 2 or 3 guys in that entire top 10 that they even spent time recruiting or brought in for visits in this recruiting cycle. It's not like they went after all 10 of those guys, really pressed hard and just lost out on all of them. They kind of pick and choose. And when Alabama looks at their, rankings of top players throughout the country, let's say quarterback or running back, you're not looking at who's an in-state kid. You're looking at who's the best player that fits our program, who's the best player that you can potentially go after. So you look at quarterback, best quarterback in the country, or at least in the top 3, Keelan Russell out of Duncanville High School in Texas. Alabama was able to get him, to flip away from his commitment to SMU. So, you are recruiting the best players in the country. You're not just recruiting the state of Alabama. And I think Alabama, for the most part, has been able to do well. But I say all that because other schools are going to continue to recruit, these guys until the very end, like a Caleb Cunningham, who is in Mississippi, who committed to Alabama this summer. You can expect Ole Miss, Mississippi State, they're going to, I'm sure, NIL offers are going to be thrown out there all the way until signing day. And that goes for, pretty much your entire recruiting class. And I don't think people are committing, just because of it being an in-state program. I think NIL certainly plays a factor in those decisions. You're going to lose out on kids in-state to out-of-state schools because of NIL, and but you're also going to have success on your own. Nick Saban said it last week on College Game Day. If you're going to be paying players, you better be paying the right players. And I think as long as you're going after the top guys and giving the top guys the top NIL dollars, you're going to be all right.
Check him out, Andrew Bone On3. He's the best in the business, BamaOnline, and been part of our show for a long time. And it's always great to not only talk to Andrew Bone, but to call him a friend. So, Bone, thank you, brother. And we'll talk to you again next week. More coming up. The Bama Tailgate Show right after this.
County, school, city, or community. The Alabama Adopt a Mile program, the Don't Drop It on Alabama Spring Cleanup, the Alabama Coastal Cleanup, and the Alabama Clean Campus program are all programs available to you and your groups. Join with Alabama Pals and let's all do our part in making Alabama truly Alabama the Beautiful. For more information, go to alpals.org. Sponsored by Alabama Pals, ALDOT, the ABA, and this station.
Is your business facing new challenges such as higher employee wages and lower workforce participation? Luckily, there's a local solution. As your Alabama Career Center system, we make running your business easier. We assist both small and large businesses throughout the state. To take advantage of all we offer, visit your local center or find us online at labor.alabama.gov. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association, an equal opportunity employer. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities.
We know texting and driving is dangerous and tailgating causes crashes. We know that road rage doesn't get us down the road faster. So let's all help each other and focus on driving safely, especially around work zones. Speeding or any other dangerous driving moves through a work zone will cost you double the normal fine. Save your money and possibly save your life or the life of a road worker. Slow down, put away the phone, and enjoy the ride. For more information, visit drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, ALEA, the ABA, and this station.
Work is a part of all of us. We know that the world around us has changed, and that's why the Alabama Department of Labor is here to get you back to working hard. Work is a part of all of us. Let us help you get back to it by visiting your local career center or alabamaworks.alabama.gov. Funding provided by the USDOL, ETA, and Federal WIOA, and Equal Opportunity Employer Program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by the Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Do you know the facts about Mpox? The most visual symptom of Mpox is a rash. The rash can be preceded by fever, headache, muscle aches, backaches, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, and a cough. Symptoms start within 3 weeks of exposure to the virus. If you are at higher risk, protect yourself by avoiding close skin-to-skin contact with people and get vaccinated. To learn more about Mpox and determine if you are at risk, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/Mpox. Sponsored by the Alabama Public Health Department, ABA, and this station.
second hour of the Tailgate Show, and it's great to have all of you guys with us here with Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. Show brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They got the sports book. Jake, you go over there, you're feeling lucky, and you can play that sports book. You put $50 down and then go play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta you can play for just $40. That's the deal. It's a great golf course. You're a big golfer.
Yeah, feel pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm. Look, let me bring on this guy right here. Our friend from Conecuh, and musically inclined, and
we try
dating and doing drinks and sausages and everything else, man. But great to see you in person. And you got to tell us about this week's segment, Gatin and Grillin, with you, man.
Now, man, I'm on the original Bama Tailgate Show. Are you kidding me? This is great. It's an honor to be here. Thank you guys for letting me drop in and just hang with you for a minute. Yeah, we're pretty pumped. The grill is smoking. I mean, we got the Silver Fox of barbecue on our grill. So what you guys can expect is a good hang. We're going to have great food. We're going to have good tips. We're going to have some guests come in, both on the foodie side and the music side. And we're just going to have a great time. You got a guy named Jordan Moore. I've got all these names jumbled up in my head, Mick. We've got several guests lined up here, but Jordan's great. He's got a great single out. Y'all going to hear part of that, and go download it. You know, we want to support our music friends. You can expect to see a guy named Rick Monroe and the Hitmen. And then, of course, we're going to have Taylor Hicks come on pretty soon. We got to have a Bama boy come on pretty soon, you know. So we're going to have a great time around the grill. Thank you guys for letting us drop in. Everybody knows I roll with the tide. I've just got so many friends in the SEC.
Kevin, you big Traeger guy, you an egg guy?
Man, you putting you on the spot, Jake, because over the years, I've become friends with all these guys. I mean, I've done so many events in the music and food world. And of course, Conecuh is always a part of that. I mean, love them, love the family, love the product. Who doesn't love it, right? So it has allowed me to meet so many wonderful people. So I'm not going to throw any of my reps under the bus today.
Nah, he's a Traeger guy. He loves.
Are you a Traeger guy? Okay. Hey, there is
absolutely
nothing wrong with Traeger. All right, we
you just get labeled lazy if you get a Traeger, you know.
That's what Carl would tell you. Carl the cook Lewis says, "Man, it's just an outdoor kitchen, but I don't care as long as it cooks good food." And see, people like me that are trying to learn from people like him. Well, yeah, we need all the help we can get, right? So,
oh yeah, I'm fighting the stigma. It's kind of like being redheaded, you know.
Yeah. Hey.
What I do want to tell you guys is that when you're driving to North Alabama, you know, you're listening to our friend Thom Abraham, who's coming up soon on our affiliate up there, ESPN the Zone, 97.7. You keep going north on 65, and you're going to pass the Tennessee, and I think it's exit 22. That's where our set is, man. That's where you guys record this segment each week.
I tell you what, the first time I showed up there, I'm thinking, because it had burned down, and I hadn't stopped there since. I mean, that was like before COVID, so it had been a while. I mean, and I drive up, and I'm like, wow. I mean, this guy, you really have to stop there and experience it. He has a stay. It's like the Cadillac of, it's a luxury travel stop. I mean, it just is. And you're right. It's just a cool place to film. And we're having a ball there. We can't wait for you to join us.
All right. Well, look, Kevin, thank you. We're going to play your segment right now, and we'll do it again next week with you as well.
Man,
when Alabama takes on Wisconsin. Roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide. Thank you.
Roll Tide.
Hey, I'm Kevin Sport, and I'm at the Tennessean Travel Stop. We have got Virgin Records recording artist Jordan Moore with us today. We have got the Tennessean's own mixologist mixing up that Alabama Slammer. And we have world-class pitmaster extraordinaire Carl the Cook Lewis cooking up that Conecuh sausage dog off the chain. You're gonna love it. It's Gatin and Grilling and we are ready to kick this season off. Come on. Yeah, man, glad you're here,
Yeah,
brother.
man. Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see your version of the Alabama Slammer. I can't wait
Absolutely.
to taste it, actually. So,
Yes, sir.
We are glad you're here. This
Thank you.
is the only way to start the season, and you just get into it. You tell me what you're going to do.
All right, man. So we're going to do our version of Alabama Slammer. First of all, we're going to get some ice in the sky. We got our amaretto right here.
Every Bama fan out there right now is thinking about when they had their first Slammer.
We got some SoCo right here, Southern Comfort, which makes a fantastic cocktail and drink responsibly.
And drink responsibly.
Right here, we got our gin.
So you really don't have any predictions about this season, right? I'm predicting your Slammer is going to be pretty doggone good.
Next ingredient there is going to be that orange juice.
Yes, sir. I'm already tasting it in my mind right now. All right.
Next, we're going to give it a good shake. Go right over the top there.
Yes, and I can't wait to taste it. This is like an all day cocktail from the morning to game time.
Thank you, sir.
To all you Bama fans out there, cheers. Roll Tide. The man, the legend, some might say the silver fox of barbecue. I like to say my friend Paul is here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. We've been friends a long time. Oh gosh, man, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Ah, you kidding me? It wouldn't be any other way. What we got on the grill, bro?
Man, you know, I've been with John Moore and Billy 27 years. I've been to many tailgate parties.
Yes, you have.
At NASCAR. Yes, but never with SEC football. So by you bringing me in here, I'm fixing to have a damn good time with these football people. I can promise you that.
Yes, we are.
We're going to show them what it's all about. We're going to do a winning day.
Absolutely.
All the way down. I'm going to show you the peppers, the onions, jalapeno peppers, everything going on this dog with John Boy and Billy Grillin's all sitting in on. So I'm going to show you what we got.
I will do it.
And these are hoagie rolls because, you know, we got a great piece of sausage. We don't want no hot dog roll. Pepper jack cheese.
You know, and you are choosing to kick it off the only way with a Kanaka dog.
Oh, that's absolutely. SEC football's got to start with Kanaka sausage. I'm going to assemble this dog now, okay?
Okay. You go around and hit.
The Kanaka sausage, right there.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, it looks good? Yeah, it looks good.
And see that pepper jack cheese just fares well with this sausage, man. I got my gloves on, so I'm going to handle this with my hand.
Yeah. Why is it that your Kanaka dog is always better than mine?
Because I know what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, what we're shooting for here is to have a damn good time.
Absolutely.
With all our thousands of fans out here, we've got to have a damn good time.
Absolutely.
All right, now to top it off, we've got to hit it with some John Boy Billy Grilling sauce. All right.
Speaking of having a damn good time, we have Jordan Moore in the house in Gatin and Grillin. What do you say, my man?
What's going on? All right. What do we got here?
Yes. Kevin?
Yes.
There you go, my
Waiting
friend.
on this
Where to
all
begin?
day, bro. All right, my man.
I'm sitting here smelling this food.
I know,
What do you
right?
All right. Now this is a winning dog.
Now that's a winning dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Touchdown.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
We're here at Gatin and Grillin, and we're thrilled to be here. You know what? We're going to have a damn good time, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
In case you didn't know, that is Jordan Moore. Jordan, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for dropping in our tailgate and sharing your talent, sharing your story. Damn Good Time is single, his latest single, and it is a great song. And we got SEC football fixing to kick off. All our SEC friends, we're kicking off, and the Bama faithful are kicking off their season. And you are from where?
I'm from Michigan. Yeah. I get stabbed if I say Roll Tide, you know.
Y'all played one heck of a game last year, too.
Yeah, they did.
And in case...
Yeah, we'll see how long. I mean, we'll see how long it goes. But
the state has a great tradition for football and other things, too. But you played football.
I did. I started playing football in high school. Fun story, like I never played before. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, and my oldest 2 brothers signed me up my freshman year at high school. I mean, my parents wouldn't let me play, and then it was just kind of history from there, and had an opportunity to go play. And
you played?
I played in college, played at Fair State University, which they're a solid program. They won a national championship Division II 2 years ago.
Well, look,
But yeah,
for the people that might be listening to us on the radio,
Listen, if you see this guy, he looks like a linebacker.
I was a linebacker. Yeah, I took out all of my aggression on the football field, that's for sure.
Well, you're one heck of a nice guy.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's
Thank
been
you.
a joy to
Likewise.
meet you, and certainly hope we can talk to you again. But I want to get to the song.
Oh, right on.
And you mind playing a
No,
little bit
I'll
of
give you a
this
little
for
bit
us?
of it. Absolutely.
All right.
This song's called Damn Good Time. It just dropped.
Yeah.
Just this last week, so we'll give it to you. I can feel that weekend coming. Gonna get those mud times turning. I can smell that bonfire burning. Let the whiskey get to working. There's a signal in the sky, rolling smoke. It's gonna be a damn good time when we all get together. We're living on a wild side, like we're gonna be on forever. From the city to the hall, from the smoke to the bottom, way out where the blacktop ends. From the can to the cane, send it to the saint till the sun it comes around again. It's gonna be a damn good time.
Yeah. And we're having a damn good time
We
right
are,
here.
man, yeah.
It's back. All right, I'm going to ask everybody
Yeah.
that drops in, but what do you predict this year for the season?
You know, obviously, living in Tennessee now for almost 10 years, I've become a big Orange fan. So I'm paying attention to the SEC. So, but no, it's going to be an interesting season just to see. You know, I mean, we're going to see what Alabama does. So we'll see what happens. I got no predictions. I'm terrible with that. Every time I predict something, it goes the opposite direction. So,
I hear you, man. Thanks for being in.
I appreciate you having me.
Gatin and Grillin, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Sport. Thanks for joining us at the Bama Tailgate Show. Thanks for dropping in, Gatin and Grillin. You can see the full episode on the Bama Tailgate Show channel. We'll see you next week.
It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Score big at Floribama's Old River Grill with our great game menu. Grab your friends and watch the game on one of our 30-plus TVs. Our game day menu is full of flavor, from fried green beans to cowboy caviar and game day staples like the buffalo chicken sandwich, traditional jumbo chicken wings, Southwest egg rolls, and the chips and dip trio. Wash it all down with a bucket of beer or one of our many drink specials. Bring your friends and family for game day and join us at Floribama Old River Grill. For more info, visit our website at floribamaoldrivergrill.com.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hey y'all, I'm Steve Azar inviting you to escape to Pearl River Resort where the fun is going non-stop. Enjoy gaming excitement and catch the thrill of the big win. After the thrills, test your skills at the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. There's dining delight and love at first sight. And it's always no work and all play at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casinos. So come on, leave it all behind and head to Pearl River Resort.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Gary Allen in concert.
Every storm runs that rain.
Gary Allen.
I'm just sitting
live.
here watching airplanes.
Saturday, October 12th at Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Yeah, that's right where I need to be.
Don't miss Gary Allen live.
Who doesn't love a good Bloody Mary come game day? We set out to make the best tasting, the savory, spicy, and southern. So as my song goes, call it an early weekend and sip on my signature blend. I don't have to be me till Monday Bloody Mary mix. So leave it all behind and head on over to Pearl River Resort, exclusively at their restaurants, bars, and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. This weekend, just say, I'll have what Steve's having.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Football is back, and no one does it better than the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This season, you can watch the games with nothing on the line. Boring. Or you can make a play in the starting lineup. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you into the big plays with big bets and big wins, making every game more exciting than ever. It's time for the sports glory you deserve without breaking a sweat. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Must be 21.
Welcome back to Unique Bar on the Strip in Tuscaloosa as we talk Alabama football, brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And we got some Yuengling swag. We've got some Screwball peanut butter whiskey swag. Man, appreciate that. We're hoping our buddy Randy showed up. Good to see him last week. And the Screwball people. If you have your dog, bring your dog by. We've got what do they call them? Doggerchiefs?
Oh, yeah.
Neckerchiefs for the dogs. Blue and black for dogs today. All right, he's Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie, and it's great to talk with Thom Abraham, 97.7 ESPN the Zone in North Alabama in Huntsville. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I thought Kirk Herbstreit was the only one that could bring his dog to a broadcasting event. You guys are going to roll with a dog now.
It's just the way it is these days.
I guess so.
So, good to see you, man. What were your thoughts on week one of Kalen DeBoer?
Well, I thought, first of all, how disconcerting it must have been to have the headphone issue. As a former coach myself, I mean, I don't know how you would deal with that right off the bat. I mean, the fact that there wasn't anything wrong with the Alabama headsets. Obviously, it was the Western Kentucky was having problems with their set. So Alabama had to shut theirs down. And now your offensive coordinator's running up and down. I guess twice he had to run up and down the stairs and so on, the elevator to get to the press box and back. So, I thought they handled that okay. Certainly there were a couple of other issues early on in the game. You lose two guys right off the bat with helmets falling off. And I don't understand. Maybe Jake can speak to this. I don't understand how college football helmets now are like baseball caps, that they fall off so easily. I mean, I remember I used to have to pull it open and squeeze it on my face and everything else, and the thing wouldn't come off till the end of the game. And these guys' hats go on and off like they're nothing. But you lose two guys, then you get a sack, and so it was a little choppy at the beginning. But overall, I mean, certainly the big playability. Ryan Williams is all of that, a bag of chips. Keon Sabb, ball hawking ability. Defensively, I thought the defense was very aggressive. The calling of the defense, I thought they were very aggressive throughout. They definitely wanted that shutout. So, obviously you don't quibble much about a 63-0 game. That's for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of the helmet, that is one of my pet peeves. I don't understand how those helmets keep coming off. I felt like my head was bouncing off the turf a pretty good bit, and it never felt like it was coming off. And it really cost you. I mean, that happens to Jalen on a second down and 7, 2nd and 8. I mean, in a big moment, that it turns into a pretty costly penalty.
Well, they already had a guy, out, obviously, with Caden Proctor and the mysterious pregame injury. So he's out. Not a guy that's replacing him has to come out because his hat came off, and then they get a sack. So, but that was, those things, they were able to overcome that. They were able to overcome the headphone issue as well, and then move on and got it rolling pretty good. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was a good win, and we're trying to figure out, Tom, what exactly you can glean from that game, because it felt like Alabama's offense wasn't really in sync, but then they would just blow right through those guys and score touchdowns.
Well, I think one of the things you can glean is that the explosiveness of Justice Haynes and Ryan Williams is a real thing. The old saying, if they're even, they're leaving. That's exactly how that was. So now the question is, when it's all good on good, are you going to have those teams? Are you going to have those opportunities? But they will come up. They will have those chances. And I mean, Ryan Williams is 17 years old. I still can't get – he won't be 18 till like February. I mean, he should be playing in a high school game, and he's doing that. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage his minutes, if you will, and manage the carries for Haynes. But they're going to have to be ready to go this week. This is not, this South Florida team. They can do some things offensively. That Byron Brown is a real deal, that quarterback, and he ran for over 800 yards and threw for 3,200 yards last year. And certainly Alex Corliss, he knows a little bit about playing against Alabama. Now, he didn't play against this defense, so that'll be an interesting thing. But he was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee when they threw the goalposts in the river. So he'd been around a minute there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game's a little bit closer than what we saw last week, and a little bit closer than the line. That 31-point line seems like an awful lot of points, but I guess we're gonna see how they look.
Yeah, I mean, I think this week we're going to have to sustain some drives and play better football in order to cover. I mean, last week, as you alluded to, really just explosive plays, 2-3 play drives, and you weren't really able to come away with too much from this team just yet, outside of the fact that we've got a lot of talented football players. But I want to see a clean look, some sustained drives, and I think it's going to take that in order to cover this, this afternoon.
And it's hard to sustain drives to a certain extent when the defense is playing all or nothing. I mean, they were sending the house. So that was, if it was out the door, forget about it. If everybody picked up their guys, it was going to be a home run. So, I said the same thing immediately. I thought it'd be nice to see them matriculate the ball down the field 6, 8, 9 yards at a time. But man, when they're sending everybody and you pick it up, you're going to have a big gash. And that's exactly what happened on a couple of those, big plays. So we saw that, time and time again. We saw some off-schedule plays. Jalen Milroe is fantastic off-schedule, but, you've got to be able to make the plays. Again, when it gets to good on good, you got to make those plays on schedule. You got to be able to, hit that third step or fifth step and release that ball on time and do all of those things, as well. So, again, we're splitting hairs a little bit, but that's what happens when you get that kind of an opponent.
Hanging out with Thom Abraham from North Alabama, 97.7 ESPN the Zone. We do that every week. Jake Coker and Mick Gillispie on the Bama Football Tailgate Show. It's been a really fun show already. And Tuscaloosa this weekend is honoring Coach Saban, but also the 10-year anniversary of Jake's 2014 SEC championship team. And I'll tell you what, a championship, whether you want to win a national championship, but an SEC championship is nothing to sneeze at either.
That was one of the great teams, obviously. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And, a lot of people talk about 2010, and I'm mixed about 2020. The COVID championship that year. I'm a little bit mixed about it because as great as Mac Jones was, and I get all of that, but there's something to be said when you're playing in a vacuum. He never went on the road and played in front of, 80,000 people who hated him. They didn't have that pressure that they felt, in those types of games, even at home, not having that huge crowd and so on. And I think that that's a thing. And, so I always kind of hold that 2020 team just aside for a little bit. That 2014 team, though, under Jake was outstanding.
Well, this is for the Blake Sims 2014 SEC championship.
Yeah, right.
Team.
And I'm saying that the backup that year, it's a great team. It was at Missouri in the SEC championship game. And I was there for that. And then lost to Ohio State in a thriller in the Dome. And then Ohio State won the championship. That was the national championship that night in New Orleans. Yeah. And I remember driving down there and knowing that was Zeke Elliott was on that team for Ohio State. And it really, I think, set your team up to want to come back and know what it would take to win a national championship that next year.
Oh, I think it definitely did, for sure. I mean, getting that close, feeling like you were right there in terms of talent. And, we really learned a lot, I think, from that bowl prep. I think that 2015 team really understood what it was going to take in order to, be focused on game day and play to Coach Saban's standard. You learn some from winning, you learn a lot from losing, and they don't come often under Coach Saban, but when they do, those Alabama teams tend to be a lot better throughout the rest of the year and the next year.
Mm-hmm. But what did Saban always say? Don't waste the loss, right? I mean,
that's right.
He used to say that, don't waste the loss. I mean, take something from it, and certainly you guys were able to do that. The very few times that you'd have one, you get tagged, but you don't waste the loss.
What do you think about Saban Field? I feel like it's a great gesture, but I think that it should be Saban Bryant Stadium instead of Denny. I think Denny could be the field and the clock, the big tower, Denny chimes. What do you think?
I wouldn't go Saban Bryant. I would go Bryant Saban. I mean,
I'd go with that too.
Yeah, I would. Bryant Saban. Denny Field at Bryant Saban. You got Denny chimes. It's hard to change something like that. I'm not a huge fan of the field designations, if you will. Who calls it Vince Dooley Field? Right. At Sanford State. You never call Vince Dooley Field. It'll be neat to see Saban's signature on the field. I assume they'll have that, maybe the straw hat, on the field in terms of, part of the markings and so on. So I guess that will be kind of cool. But Bryant, Denny, Saban, that's too many names. So, I'm not sure 100% where they would go with it. But, that's what you're left with when you got all these national championships and all these great coaches. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Running out of places to, we don't have enough monuments.
Yeah, right. Well, he's got a statue out front, I guess, that'd definitely be something to think of. But I mean, I just think like when you have these two Mount Rushmore head coaches,
right?
The field, like you said, nobody says, oh, this is, so-and-so field. I mean, you call it the stadium.
Right.
And I mean, I agree with Paul Feinbaum. I mean, he said he's exactly right. Saban, and maybe one day they do that. It's probably a lot more difficult to do that than just throw a field title after somebody.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, yeah, think about all the work that it would take too, all the changing and then how what people would call it. But in any event, it's a great honor for a great coach. And boy, did he kill it on game day. These first couple of weeks of game day. I mean, I think we're really getting to see his personality come through and he's been outstanding. Now, my friends in Florida are already like, do we call Saban? Do we call Saban? Gainesville and Tallahassee are both fighting over. Should we call Saban first before we hire Lane Kiffin? That kind of thing.
Oh, you think Lane Kiffin's going to end up down in Florida?
Well, I mean, if you're in Gainesville, I mean, you got to make that phone call. I think there's a ceiling still in Oxford that doesn't exist in Gainesville. I think that if it were to come to pass, and we're already talking about replacements for Billy Napier after one game, but obviously, this is something that's been coming. But if it were to come to pass, I think you got to make that call to Lane Kiffin. But I'm not sure that you don't at least ask Jimmy Sexton, hey, by the way, has Nick got any interest at all, in doing this? But and I don't think he would, to be totally honest with you.
Oh, really interesting. I see that grin.
Got to throw it out there.
Jimmy will say Coach Saban's interested just to get that salary up for Lane.
Better deal for Lane.
Tom, tell us what you got going on, man. Always great to see you.
Well, of course, Alabama football, 97.7 ESPN the Zone in North Alabama, the home for the Tide and all of the shoulder programming as well. And I'm on every day, noon to 2 as well on the Zone. So you can check that out on the app. You can check it out online. WZZN TV is where you can watch that show as well.
All right. Always great hanging out with our buddy Thom Abraham, ESPN 97.7 ESPN, the Zone up in North Alabama and Huntsville area. Roll Tide, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Roll Tide.
Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
In the heart of Orange Beach, Alabama, directly on the Gulf of Mexico, you'll find your new favorite place to dine with family and friends, Coastal Orange Beach. It's the ultimate dining experience with incredible beach views, and we're now serving breakfast on the beach. We open daily at 8 a.m., so be sure to join us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Coastal Orange Beach is quickly becoming the place that locals love and a destination for anyone visiting the Gulf Coast. We can't wait to see you on the beach. CoastalOrangeBeach.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Hey y'all, I'm Steve Azar inviting you to escape to Pearl River Resort where the fun is going non-stop. Enjoy gaming excitement and catch the thrill of the big win. After the thrills, test your skills at the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. There's dining delight and love at first sight. And it's always no work and all play at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casinos. So come on, leave it all behind and head to Pearl River Resort.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Back in on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Great to have you guys with Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie, and it's time to do that pick segment brought to you by our friends at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. And again, I want to tell you guys, you know this show's brought to you by those guys. They got some great concerts coming up. Gary Allen, you like Gary Allen, country singer. He's going to be there, part of their 30th anniversary tour. Right. They're also going to have Scotty McCrary in there, one of Brett Elmore's favorite singers. And they got table games and slots. They got Dancing Rabbit, which is the Augusta that you can play. And it's that time of the show now where we talk about the games that we're going to pick. And so here we go. Let's start with Tennessee at North Carolina State. It is a 10-point spread. NC State, a 10-point underdog in North Carolina. It's that Duke Mayo Bowl type game, right?
Yeah.
The over-under is 60.5. And let's bring this guy back in too. There he goes. Since Lance Taylor's late, Big Elmo, you're going to sit in with us. How about that?
Sounds good to me. I don't know quite as much as Lance does about his locks, but we'll see. And if you saw my sheet last week, you'd know why.
No, yeah. Your lock of the week was that Florida State was going to take care of Georgia Tech.
I'll never live that down.
At least you're not the guy that said that he would eat dog poo out of a red Solo cup if he was wrong.
He deleted his account after that.
That guy's disappeared.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
I don't know. So you're saying that Tennessee's a 10-point favorite?
Tennessee is a 10-point favorite. Elmo, you just sit back and pick. You pick last. I'm going to let Jake go first here with his pick, and then I'll swing in. So 10,
should I get into my picking?
Yeah, go ahead and tell
approach. All right. Well, I guess I have become somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, and especially since 2020. But one of those conspiracies is Vegas, and I see a line that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and the public's all over it. I tend to jump on the side that I'm more afraid of. NC State is that team that I'm more afraid to bet on, so I'm taking them. Public's all over Tennessee. It's -10. I think it should be, at least 14. So I'm going NC State on this one.
All right, there he is from the next round, and from Lance'sLock.com, Lance Taylor. We'll start with Jake just took.
Damn, Jake! You said you need 4. It should be 14.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you this: if NC State they win by 17, if they would have had that game with Western Carolina, if they would have led by 17 the entire game, how different would the feel be? Because I do think Grayson McCall, one of the most experienced quarterbacks in all of college football, along with Dylan Gabriel, that is definitely an upgrade for Dave Duran. You've got playmakers. Jordan Waters is really good at the running back position. The Kevin Concepcion guy is a really good receiver that is returning, went for over 100 multiple scores last week. And I don't know about this Tennessee defense. I know they didn't allow UT Chattanooga to cross midfield in the first half, and we know Nico had that incredible first half. But this is going to be kind of a test. Like, I think, in Charlotte, kind of in the backyard of the Wolfpack, I think it's going to be a 50-50 crowd because Tennessee travels well. But that number to go from 7.5 yesterday to 10 right now, you're right. The public's all over this. That is a massive number.
And I think after that performance last week, all of the hype around this Tennessee quarterback, that line. And look, I think Tennessee is going to be a solid player in the SEC this year. I do think they're better than NC State, but again, my experience in picking these games, when something stands out and the line does not look right, I usually take the side that I'm afraid of, and that's NC State.
So you're going Tennessee, Lance, or are you going NC State?
I'm gonna play NC State. I probably would play this over. Yeah,
he's trying to talk me into the bad
side. No, he was saying 14. Hell, you get 14. I would think it's too rotten. I'm telling you, the only thing that scares me is it's going up to 10. I'm like, I understand the public's all over this, but for this thing to move to 10, there's got to be some sharp money behind it. I don't know. I think Tennessee's one of these teams that could end up winning 10 games and getting into a college football playoff. I just wonder if Nico's going to have any hiccups along the way. I do think NC State, with their schedule, they could be a sleeper too. I know it didn't look good against Western Carolina. I fully expect them to play better, though.
All right. Second game is Mississippi State. Jeff Lebby against Arizona State. That's in Tempe. 5.5-point spread. Arizona State, the Sun Devils are favorite. 58.5 is the over-under. This is one of the weirdest games I can ever remember, but I like it. I want to see more of this stuff, and I'm also proud of Mississippi State for playing all the Arizona teams in the last couple years.
So last week, fellas, all I needed was Wyoming to go into the desert and keep it within 7, and I was going to have a winning day on Saturday. And boy, 5 minutes into the game, I was able to shut that shit down. I mean, that was I like to call it a dick whipping, but that's what Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State were able to do to Wyoming. I mean, that was embarrassing. And I just don't know how good Mississippi State's going to be. I like Jeff Lebby. Blake Shapen is obviously a quarterback from Baylor that's got some experience. But I don't know if you guys got to watch any of Arizona State, and I just kept it on because it was one of the few games that we had late night last Saturday. but how aggressive they were, how fast they were, athletic. I think Dillingham's got kind of maybe a sleeper in Arizona State this year in the Big 12. And I'm not talking about winning the Big 12 and getting an automatic bid. I'm talking about a team that could win 7 or 8 games and beat a Kansas State or a Utah or an Oklahoma State and keep one of those teams from actually winning the conference. I like Arizona State in this spot. I think, going from Starkville out to Tempe, I think that obviously benefits Arizona State. 9:30 kick. I think that Arizona State believes. I like the Sun Devils in this spot.
Well, I didn't stay up to watch the Arizona State game last week, and I didn't see too much of the Mississippi State game last week. So I may just have to follow Lance on this one and take Arizona State, even though I'm pulling for SEC all the way.
What are the drinks brewing behind you guys right now?
We got all kind of stuff brewing back here. Anything with Screwball peanut butter whiskey. We got some Yinglings going back there. We got anything that you need though. What do you want? An old fashioned?
No, an old fashioned. Like I never have old fashions when the sun's out. That's one of those drinks. I love my bourbon, but I mean I've got to have the sunset to actually feel good about that. I will tell you what would be great.
Chocolate martini is one that I saw going on.
I bet you could put the Screwball in the chocolate martini because I was going to bring up the Bushwhacker. Back to our floor Bama days. I love a Bushwhacker with the topper of the Screwball.
Oh yeah, perfect. Well, we're going to be there at the Old River Grill next week for the show, so we'll try that.
Come on down. I don't know if I'm going to be in Wisconsin on my couch, the Old River Grill. I like all the options, though.
All right, final game, guys. Alabama, 31-point favorite over South Florida. LT, you start us off.
So I think this number is too inflated. We remember the game in Tampa last year where Tyler Buckner, the great lacrosse player, got the start. Nick Saban, the ultimate message. And boy, I will tell you, really mentally behind the scenes, what that did for Jalen Milroe's growth and what it did for that offense last year. I mean, look, we all know that. But I'll tell you this. Coming off the win on week 1 against Western Kentucky, I thought they looked really good with the explosive plays. Defense looked great. But since 2004, Alabama just 6-12-1 against the number in their second game of the season. I think this number is way too big. 31.5 is basically a half of football. Alex Golesh knows offense. Byron Brown is a really athletic quarterback that can do things with his legs. And I think they score enough points to keep this under the 31.5. I think you're getting a ton of value here in South Florida.
All right, Jake, to finish us off.
Yeah, I think, this South Florida team, I'm not saying they're a powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination, but the sitting Western Kentucky, I think they've got they're better at the quarterback position. I think they're better all around. And, Alabama, we came out pretty hot, turnovers, long explosive plays. I don't see that kind of explosiveness this week. I mean, I think we will have some, but last week was just kind of crazy. So I'm not going to – I got to go with South Florida tonight.
LT, 30 seconds. Tell us about Lance's lock.
Yeah, jump on board 11-9 last weekend, week 1 of the college football season. We'll have the NFL. We still got Major League Baseball action out there. Jump on board, win with us as we roll into year number 11. We're going to crush it for you. Lance'sLock.com. That's Lance'sLock.com. Let's win.
All right, that's Lance Taylor. More of the Tailgate Show right after this.
Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
In the heart of Orange Beach, Alabama, directly on the Gulf of Mexico, you'll find your new favorite place to dine with family and friends, Coastal Orange Beach. It's the ultimate dining experience with incredible beach views, and we're now serving breakfast on the beach. We open daily at 8 a.m., so be sure to join us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Coastal Orange Beach is quickly becoming the place that locals love and a destination for anyone visiting the Gulf Coast. We can't wait to see you on the beach. CoastalOrangeBeach.com.
Yingling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand. By foot. By bike. By bikers. By fanny pack or jetpack. By whatever means necessary. With Yingling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yingling, bring the goods.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Hey y'all, I'm Steve Azar inviting you to escape to Pearl River Resort where the fun is going non-stop. Enjoy gaming excitement and catch the thrill of the big win. After the thrills, test your skills at the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. There's dining delight and love at first sight. And it's always no work and all play at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casinos. So come on, leave it all behind and head to Pearl River Resort.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Final segment of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, and we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Having a great time at Unique right here on the Strip. We got the owner of Unique, Chris Coleman, joining us with Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thank you to Yingling Lager. If you guys come by Unique, whether we're here doing the show or not, we're leaving so much swag behind the bar. You come in and buy Yingling, say you heard the show, and they're going to hook you up. Is that a fair deal? Good to see you, Coleman.
Fair deal.
Lots of stuff. You got keychains over there, got sunglasses, T-shirts.
Yeah. Yingling Flight.
Yingling Flight. Ice cold Yingling Flight. Well, guys, let's talk a little bit of football. Coleman, you met Jake Coker. You remember him from his days in football. They're honoring the 2014 team. That was the year before he started this year. Your memory of 2014 Alabama SEC champs. Blake Sims.
Memory is losing to Ohio State.
Coleman, it's a low blow.
My memory.
How about beating Auburn?
Yeah, that was a good win. But that's kind of a tradition around here. It's kind of been done before.
Hey, that's what I was telling you. That national championship.
Yeah.
When we're playing Clemson, I'm sitting there on the sideline, like, if you don't pick it up, you're going to be known as the first guy to lose for Coach Saban a national championship. And so, I mean, it's real.
Yeah, can you imagine coming in here and then this guy saying that to you? Be tough, wouldn't it?
Oh, hey, how you doing, Coleman? Hey, you're the guy that lost to Clemson, right?
Well, I don't blame you for that. So,
how do you feel about Saban Field?
I'm okay with it. I overheard y'all talking a little bit about should it be Bryant Saban or Saban Bryant? And I'll be okay with that. But I'm also okay with Saban Field with it being called that and keeping President Denny involved or whatever. He was president here for like 25 years. Did a lot for the school, and so I'm okay with that too.
But he didn't win any championships.
He has the charms.
How many times did he beat Tennessee in a row? That's the question I want to know.
Yeah, he has the charms, so he's okay.
He does have the charms.
If you leave him out.
Yeah. How about you? I mean, we've talked about this before. What are you going to do if you see Coach Saban today?
I mean, just shake his hand, tell him how much he deserves this and how much I appreciate him. And, I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of handshaking. So,
oh, yeah. Do you have an autograph of his?
I don't.
Yes,
I do. I got
autograph is more important.
I got a big picture of Bryant Denny at a golf tournament where they had a bunch of former players come. And so I've got one of those.
Who are you going to get a selfie with?
I'm not a selfie guy.
Oh, come on. Come on, Jake. You're at that age now. It's been 10 years, man. I mean,
I'm not carrying around a selfie stick.
Hey, I'm a Ravens guy. Derrick Henry would be a good guy to get a selfie with.
Yeah, he's a little busy.
Yeah, he's busy. Yeah. But you know what? He could be there. I mean, look, he played.
You're right.
They played
right.
Thursday.
He scored the first touchdown this season.
Yeah, he did. He
to
did.
Start the NFL season.
Yeah. Do you have a Saban autograph?
No.
No?
Dante Hightower has one of mine.
You signed something for Dante Hightower?
Well, because he was sitting there, he was signing a few, and I was hanging out with him. And so I just signed one and gave it back to him. I was like, there.
That's right.
But, so you can keep that.
Hanging out at Unique on the Strip, guys, as we get ready for Alabama, South Florida, 6 o'clock. And this is the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. If you're watching online, please give us a thumbs up on the Bama Tailgate channel on YouTube. And we're going to be on after the game with the post-game show right after on Cover Crimson. And that's part of the next round, the Disrupt the Media family. Jake and I do a podcast on there called Elephant in the Room. We're at like episode 100, which is unbelievable. Coleman does a podcast too, Comerica podcast. How many episodes do you have?
I don't know.
100?
Well over that.
Well over that?
But I don't know. I used to do 2 to 3 a week, and now it's 1 a week.
What kind of topics we diving into?
All sports, all gambling.
Okay, I got you.
And
who are your top picks for this week?
I agree with you on Tennessee and NC State. I look at them the same way. If something doesn't make sense, then
I'm fully convinced that stuff they know. I mean, they have to know
more
stuff
than we do.
Well, I guess half the games have been played today, so we'll,
Yeah, I like Alabama. Obviously, I like us to cover the 31. Look, we're not going to play on the day that we dedicate Nick Saban Field to Nick Saban with him in the stadium. We're not going to play bad. It's not going to be like last year when we had.
I don't know, man. Coach Saban bringing his own rat poison.
That would be appropriate. But I think that Milroe and them come to play. South Florida's been talking a little smack.
They have. It is kind of a revenge game.
Yeah, they talked about how they're the ones that forced Saban out and into retirement. I don't know if you've seen any of that on Twitter, but I was like, okay.
Hey, I hope they take that
right from that gloomy crowd.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully they go and they do the dog poop challenge at that Florida State.
Yeah.
Out of a solo cup with a spoon.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
What kind of bet is that?
I'm not putting a guarantee on it like that.
All right, let me ask you guys this. Biggest gains from game 1 to game 2 for Alabama? Biggest gains. What do you think?
The biggest
gains. Like, what are they going to improve the most on?
I think, honestly, the opening drive wasn't good. We came out, we threw the ball 3 times and had like 4 yards and punted. I think they and they talked about it. Kay Womack talked about it a good bit about the things we could improve on, and I think that the overall, I mean, you win 63-0, you think, yeah, there's not a lot to work on, but
Searching for
there
a
was stuff
culinary
to
escape
work
to
on from the first game, and I think that we'll see that more consistency, sustaining drive, getting off the field, because their first couple of drives, Western Kentucky was moving the ball. And then Keon gets the interception. And then Keon gets the interception. And so I think it'll be more getting off the field on third down of be a big deal. And moving the ball, sustaining drives.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. You know, prior to knowing that we were having communication issues, I mean, I dove more into those first few drives thinking we had problems. But, you know, when you don't have that in-helmet communication and you haven't been planning on using signals and communicating without that radio, you know, you got a lot to overcome there because, you know, prior to that headset, we had to signal everything in. I mean, you basically had a sign language pretty much.
Can you do one? Yeah, just give us a little taste of what you guys would do. Like, what did something mean?
I mean, we had
on radio, but
we had boards and signals at Alabama. At Florida State, it was all hand signals. So, like, I mean, you know, I guess Jimbo's not. This won't give anything away, but you know. Trips right to Roger was 6-man protection, and then you had I want to say this was cab and this was
like
dagger.
driving sound, and then like a yeah, okay, yeah. Because I remember you doing that on the sideline. I mean, which is weird. Which is weird because
why weren't you watching the game?
I don't know, but when he just started, no, Coleman, when he started saying that, I remember that. Like, you know, I mean, I didn't know you, but I just remember you, yeah, because
Deuce right,
yeah,
Deuce right to Roger volunteer.
So weird, kind of having that. You know, it would have been 2014 for me.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. What are you looking for today out of Alabama? Give me your score.
I think 49-3.
Okay. What are you looking for though? 49-3.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for 49-3. Exactly.
A lot of winning.
I mean, we move the ball, dominate on the line of scrimmage, on both lines of scrimmages, and give a field goal late.
Yeah.
And just that way it's the shutout was nice, but give up something to let them know there's keep working.
I'm thinking 42-13.
Okay. So a little closer than last week.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I said 42-10 last week.
Okay.
I just, you know, I don't see I don't know how you maintain that level of explosive plays. I mean, I think South Florida is going to be a better team. They got better players. You know, we kind of got started with the turnovers, the picks early. And these games, when you're playing, when it's not an LSU or an Auburn or something like that, I mean, I feel like in these games, the momentum, you don't have the type of momentum and energy. And so when you get started with those turnovers and explosive touchdowns, you kind of roll on through. I mean, hopefully that happens and we do roll on through and cover. But, you know, the odds aren't really there with us 2 games in a row. So I think it's a little bit of a slower paced game. I think we take care of business, and South Florida scored a couple garbage points at the end.
Okay. All right. I got Alabama covering the 31. Watch the over.
You're not going to give us
So what are you looking for?
I don't know. I think it's going to be like 56-3 or something, 56-7. I mean, I think it's going to be another one of these games where Alabama's going to be a lot better on the offensive line, a lot smoother. They've had a whole week together now without Proctor, or maybe he comes back, but I think they're going to be ready. I really like Milroe. I think this is a game that, in a way, Milroe wants to go out there and say, "Hey, I didn't get a chance last year. Here's what you guys missed." And I think this team's focused. I love the fact that even though we're ranked 4th, everybody just thinks that we're going to lose, and we're going to lose to Georgia. We're going to lose some other games. We're not Alabama, and I'm telling you, this team has a really good chance to win the national championship. And you guys can pencil Georgia in for national champion if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the team that beats Georgia on a consistent basis. Roll Tide.
I think they are playing with a chip on their shoulder.
That's right. All right, Coleman, thank you for having us. Thank you to Yingling Lager and Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey for putting on this event. You swing by here. Even if we're not here, we got swag that you guys can have. Got to be 21. Buy a Yingling, though. Come on, say hi to Coleman. Give him a high five as you walk in here. Unique Bar, the Old Egan's. It's right across from the Houndstooth. It's a really fun place to hang out. We'll be back later on in the season. Next week, come hang out with us down on the line, right there between Florida and Alabama, at the Floribama, the Old River Grill. That's where we're going to be 1 to 3 next week to preview Wisconsin. So come by and hang out with us there as well. But Roll Tide, everybody. Thank you. And we will talk to you guys again. Oh, and don't forget, Elephant in the Room podcast, cover crimson.com, and the Comerica podcast. Right, Coleman?
Yep.
All right, Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.